Welcome to Technoli Talks. Technoli Talks is the official thought leadership podcast series of Technoli Institute of Digital Business Management. Here, our objective is to bring in industry leaders, innovators, change makers from different industries to come here and share their stories, their experiences, their challenges, and their journeys for younger generations. That insight would helpful for younger generations who are just stepping into the uh, professional life. And before I introduce to our today's guest, do you know that there's an organization who's operating from 1933 who provides tea industry statistics to all the tea producing and tea consuming nations for last 90 years. The organization name is International Tea Committee, uh, also known as ITC. Since 1933, the ITC has been the definitive source of global tea business, bringing together data from every major tea producing and tea consuming countries, ensuring that the industry has a single trusted reference point. And today, to tell the story of the ITC, its legacy, and where the global tea industry is heading, we have with us someone who stands at the very center of the global conversation, a person who has spent almost 3 decades moving across the full spectrum of the tea world, from the auction floors of Colombo to senior leadership roles in Sri Lanka's top tea broking firms, to becoming a tea trainer and a masterclass tutor at the UK Tea Academy, and serving on the distinguished panel of judges at the London Leafy World Tea Competition, to now leading the world's most respected tea data institution. We are honored to have in the studio Mr. James Suranga Perera, Executive Director of the International Tea Committee. So this is the episode 1 of Technoli Talks, the future of tea in a data-driven world. So to begin with, Mr. Perera, welcome to Technoli Talks.
Thank you, Saminda.
Can you share some data insights about where it all started, how you joined the industry, and also more importantly, why did you stay in the industry almost 30 years?
Yeah, thank you very much, Saminda. Thank you for inviting me for this inaugural talk, the Technoli Talk show. Yeah, I've started my career in 1996, just after leaving school, which was an opportunity that I got to start my career as a management trainee and then as a tea taster. And that was a company called Forbes and Walker. And then I moved on to a company called Asia Siaka Tea Brokers. I served there as a vice president. And then at Ceylon Tea Brokers, at that point, the only public listed company, a tea broking company. And I headed the company for 7 years before migrating to the UK. I now live in UK. I have worked in several trading companies in UK. And yeah, as you said, I was very fortunate to be throughout the value chain. As a broker, you get to see the pains of the producers, what they go through, and also share knowledge with the traders. And working myself as a trader, and then in UK, currently I head the ITC, which is the only organization that does tea related data exclusively. And I also work as a judge for the London World Tea Competition and also teach tea in the UK Tea Academy. To answer to your second question, that was hang on for 30 years. Seems a long time now, but the time has flown by. What kept me going was the dynamic nature of the industry, the challenges, and when I moved out of the country, I realized the global perspective, which is the great eye-opening for me, and I want to share that with everyone who is interested, and that's what I want to do through ITC. I have got a great platform to do just that, because we are an independent company. We are not affiliated to any particular geographical producing country or a consuming country. We represent everyone, so we want to give the flow to everyone to perform. That's what we want to do, create a platform for everyone to dance on that stage. So yeah, the curiosity is what kept me going, and that's still holding strong, and the passion.
Uh, just to ask a follow-up question, I think you joined the industry somewhere in 1996, 1997 era,
So,
where at that time the tea industry was well known for kind of experienced people, the experience matters. But you were one of the very few individuals who pursue the academic qualifications or the academic progression as well while you're working as a tea taster at the very early stage of your career. So how that helped you to, climb up the ladder?
yeah, good questions. I mean, actually, yeah, you're very right. Back in the day when I joined the industry, it was all to do with experience. You had to come in and learn the trade. I think that is still there. But having said that, having a educational background, management driven educational background was a great help in me, assisting me to climb the ladder. And I would say that has helped me a lot. See, the thing is, it's very important to learn, but you should always also find ways to put that into practice. That is also very important. There are people who study but then hardly put that into practice. You might have qualifications, but doesn't mean that is going to help you. So I think you need to learn. More you learn, more stronger you become. But having said that, you have to find ways to put that into practice. So I found that initially when I finished my MBA and SEMA and all of that, I found it challenging to challenge the status quo of a very very old industry. As you very correctly said, the experience mattered. So positions were always looked to be given to people who had the experience, not so much the education, so on and so forth. But I believe it is changing. I believe it is changing now. If you have the experience and the academic background, you can really thrive. I believe in any industry. It is not only for tea industry, but tea industry being a very old industry, it has taken a while to adapt, but I think it is adapting. So yes, it has helped me a lot.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pera. It's a quite a remarkable journey for you.
Thank you.
Now, let's move into the most important segment of the talk show. Uh, some of us aware that ITC, in other words, International Tea Committee, was there from 1933, who was like the trusted source for tea statistics for the global tea industry. For those of who are not aware of ITC, would you mind explaining what is ITC and what they do and why that is the most trusted source for global tea producing and tea consuming nations as a data provider?
Yeah, thank you, Saminda. So ITC was formed back in 1930s, as you very correctly said. It was an organization formed by the British monarch and the Dutch monarch back in the day to assess how much of tea was produced in the world. With the independence of these countries, especially Ceylon and India and Indonesia, the role of ITC did change. So we continued collecting data, and we also look at exports, imports by different countries. So we evaluate the per capita consumption of individual countries. So what we do is we give a very independent view of the industry, a data set that is used for strategy making. So the biggest brands in the world do use our data for their strategic moves, whatever they want to do in the future. Look into the looking back as to what has happened. Look at the trends. So in that scope, we play a pivotal role, I would say. But having said that, I would like to add the future, as I said, is going to be different. We are taking a strategic change ourselves as ITC. We have been in business for 90 odd years. but we need to change with the times. Industry is changing, world is moving forward. So how can we adapt technology? How can we digitalize ourselves, make it relevant? That is the most important thing. Unless otherwise we make ourselves relevant to the industry, no industry can survive. So that is what we have realized. We don't want to be complacent. We want to change with the times. We want to give more visibility to our uh, all our producers in the world, not only Ceylon, to Indians and Kenyans and Africans and Chinese and everyone. There are 12 members in our board, but even without any membership, if someone is producing tea, Camellia sinensis tea, we want to promote it, give it the spotlight, the challenges they have, how can we improve it. See, there is a huge knowledge gap. I think your exercise is also very relevant here, where knowledge gap is there, and you want to feel that. And I think that's the most important thing. And without that, no industry can move forward. And it is so relevant to the tea industry as well.
Okay, thank you. So now, like you said, the whole idea of Technoli Talks also to share more important statistics, information, data, the story behind what is actually happening in the different kind of industries we have in Sri Lanka and how we compete with the world. So
Yep.
now you are at the center of the data point, I would say, the data source where you have information from all the countries which are producing tea, exporting, importing, consuming, and who are the people who are re-exporting, everything. You are at the center of that data hub, right?
Yep.
With that information, can you tell us where is the global tea industries heading? What are the kind of trends that we can see right now? What are the shifts? What are the changes in dynamics in the industry?
Yeah, very relevant question. So sadly, the truth is not so sweet. It is bitter, unfortunately. If you take the global tea production, we produce 7 billion kilos, billion with a B, so
Wow.
7.07 billion to be precise. But the consumption was at 6.9 billion only. So we had, give or take, about 117 million oversupply just in 2024.
Only
And
117 million.
117 million oversupplied just within that year.
Okay.
In 2023, it was 350 million kilos. See, the problem is this: we are growing tea without a strategy. We don't have a proper strategy in terms of how do we market this? Who is going to consume this? We can blame other beverages till the cows come home, but we need to have a strategy ourselves. I think we are needing to educate this. Just to give you another stat, so we produced 6 billion kilos in 2019.
Okay.
So within a span of 5 years, we increased the global production by 1 billion kilos, right? Unfortunately, the consumption has not grown that fast. Consumption is growing. I must mention that. Consumption is growing, but not at the speed of production. So that is I find that to be the most fundamental market economic theories that we are missing out, right? I mean, supply and demand.
Supply and demand. Yeah.
It's a simple equation. And then we say, why are the tea prices low? Yes, it's going to be low. We see coffee prices going up. Why? There is a 1.5 billion loss in production over the last 5 years for coffee. So obviously it is going to go up. So this, you asked me the trend. So look at what has happened to matcha market in Japan. The market cannot supply to the demand that there is, and the prices have gone through the roof, and people feel that that might be a bubble. But we should not let it be bursting into a bubble. We should be promoting other teas to those new consumers. So this bubble has been created by the Gen Zs, the new age consumers, which is very exciting. But why not the other teas? So yeah, we will talk about it in a little
Yes.
while
Yeah.
further.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll talk about little more about into how this whole thing applies to Sri Lanka,
yeah,
and as well as for like you said, Gen Z, how we attract
yeah.
more Gen Zs into this most respected beverage. Right. My next question is you talk about a little bit about strategy. So I want you to uh, relate this more into Sri Lanka, right? To our nation. Think over 100 years we have this well respected brand image of pure Ceylon tea. But for last couple of years or maybe last 7 to 8 years, we have seen a significant decline in tea production on I think which was slightly recovered maybe last 12 to 18 months or so.
Yep.
So we are kind of at crossroads, right? So with the information you have, I know that you are traveling to many different tea producing countries. You get to talk to different people from different countries in terms of the tea industry who are attached to tea industry. So with that information, tell us what should we do? Uh, uh, what can we do? Can we increase the volume, or can we increase the quality? I am giving you a very direct question.
Yeah, it's a very, very easy answer, but I don't see that being taken that way, unfortunately. This is something we discussed at the TRI just celebrated their 100th year. Um, See, Ceylon tea is a great brand. I don't think any other nation has been able to create that brand image. But how do we protect that? Is the biggest question. You asked me quantity or quality. Quality is the only way that we could push brand image further. So the government, I'm not wanting to discriminate or say the policies are wrong or right. I just want to give you the facts, so the facts are, as I said, the production is too high globally. So that's a given, right? And we are thinking of producing 400 million kilos and achieving a target of $2.5 billion by 2030. I
So
think
are there any other measures we can take to increase the revenue without putting the entire weightage to in terms of increasing the volume? Are there any other avenue?
exactly. So see, the thing is, if we that calculation has been made, that 400 million kilos, assuming that our prices will remain at this level.
Again,
So
demand
again,
supply theory will
supply and demand
yeah.
equation comes into play, which means the prices are going to be lower. But instead, my thinking is, why not 300 million kilos? We have been 300 and 340 very comfortably. 300 million kilos and increase our prices to $8, which will give us 2.5 billion in result.
Okay. If I
Uh,
may ask for our viewers also to know what is our current FOB per kg
it's
at the global stage?
it's at about $5.85.
$5.85 per kilo.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I know people might say I must be crazy to think that we can achieve $8 and in some of the other countries, and our labor is one of the most expensive in the world. And with all of this, our COP, the cost of production, is higher than most other countries. So competing in the volume strategy, if you take that as a strategy, that's not going to be a good one for Ceylon. Again, I leave it to the authorities to take the call. But having said that, this is from the stats point of view. This is what I see. As I said, the value going up to $8. Japan, they're achieving $27 to $30 a kilo.
Wow.
Average. Similarly, Taiwan. So specialty tea markets, we have to look at the Sri Lankan tea industry as a specialty tea market. They are
It's like
producing orthodox teas.
organic tea and different kind of specialty
If we
tea.
can go into organic, that's fantastic. Unfortunately, we are not doing enough with the organic, which is something that I suggested to the TRI. Look into more robust clones, to developing more robust clones. Because when I spoke to some of the industry stakeholders, producers would say it's difficult to produce organic tea. It is more costlier. The certifications are more costlier. On the other hand, the traders are saying we want organic tea. So there is a lot of demand, we can't fulfill it from Ceylon. So there is a gap. There is a big gap that we are not fulfilling. So authorities, the science behind the industry is the TRI. They have to get together. So there needs to be a collaboration and talking together to understand what can we do. There is a gap, and at a high price. The organic prices are quite attractive, good prices. So let's try and fill that. We can't convert everything into organic, obviously, but whoever who can, who has the hunger, who are thirsty for it, can do that, and achieve this target of $8 per kg and produce 300 million kilos. You will achieve the target of 2.5 billion that the authorities are looking to achieve.
So in terms of Ceylon tea, uh, things like moving into more sustainable manufacturing, promote Ceylon tea in terms of sustainability angle, and moving to things like tea tourism. Are there practical things that we can think of in the near future to promote Ceylon tea?
Most certainly, most certainly. Tea tourism, of course, is something that we are doing. Not that we are not, but we can do more aggressive marketing on that. So there's a group who is lobbying.
Since we already have good numbers coming into Sri Lanka in terms of tourism,
Absolute.
most of the people are visiting right now Sri Lanka. The tourism industry is at a good stage.
At a good stage, so which we can piggyback on for our industry, and give the customer a very authentic experience. See, the thing is, sometimes we think we need to sugarcoat what's happening behind the fields or in our factories, the challenges.
Where the foreigners want to see what exactly happening.
Exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
The challenges, the worker conditions. It might not be perfect, but show them the authentic thing. Let them experience. See, I had an experience with one of my colleagues who is doing a business for tea in London, who provides to these very high-end hotels. And he took some of his hoteliers into Sri Lanka and got them to dig, plant, pluck, and do the whole 9 yards. And end of the session, they were saying, my God, this is really hard work. It just opened our eyes that this is a beverage that we should not be taking for granted. This worth much more. We will complain, the prices in London supermarkets are low. See, it's been sold as a commodity. It has a soul that we need to be talking about, the soul of the tea plucker, the soul of the tea plucker's children who is eating because of this industry. So if we connect this, there is great opportunity. Unfortunately, we are not.
What we want is like a experience selling, like
Absolutely. That's what they love. That's what the Western world loves to see, and that's what we can do. We have all the resources in this country to do that. I hope that will take some traction and move forward. That will help the industry tremendously.
Okay. So in terms of our competition, who are our direct competitors in terms of pure Ceylon tea? It's Kenya and India. We competing neck to neck with India and Kenya, and what are they doing right now?
Saminda, it's like this. So I wear the hat of International Tea Committee, meaning I represent everyone.
Yes.
Kenyan teas to Indian teas to Chinese, Japanese to Bangladeshis, everyone. So my thing is this: there is a greater opportunity if the whole of the tea world get together. I don't think that competition word itself is not relevant in tea because tea has so much diversity. We are completely different to what the Kenyans are producing. Their manufacturing process is different. Their flavor profile is different. India again completely different. So I get to experience this firsthand at world tea competitions when I sit and do the tasting. See, we all have a different, very distinctly different flavor profile, each and every country. We call it terroir we are hijacking that from the wine industry. Terroir is the topography of the land. Depending on where the teas are grown, I mean, down south, your flavors are very chocolatey, very earthy, honey roasted, that kind of flavor. A little bit of stringency, bitterness is what we are looking at from that area. And then if you go up country, it's a different floral flavor. And then Norelia, another distinctly different flavor profile. Uva Udupusilava, again, different flavors. So we in Sri Lanka, we are very fortunate. We are a biodiversity hotspot, which gives us the ability to produce a lot of flavors within the small island. We have 7 distinctly different flavor areas. So the mere fact looking at someone as a competitor is should not be even on the equation, because Ceylon has a different taste profile, so there is a different customer segment that you should be going after. And similarly, India, they have a different market. One of the other things that we don't take into account is when I was in India 2 months ago, what I told them was, again, looking at their market, their per capita consumption is 840 grams per head. Just imagine their population, 1.45 billion, most populous country in the world. And their economy is growing, 4th largest economy in the world now. And they can spend, just imagine if you increase that per capita to 1 kilo. 1 kilo is just 1 cup a day or 1.2 cups a day. If you increase that to 1 kilo, you're talking about selling 1.45 billion kilos in India. That is one of the greatest markets that people have overlooked for a long time. They are only consuming at the moment at 1.2 billion. So we are talking about another 250 million kilos into that market. So there is space.
Yeah.
People need to look into that.
So if you apply that similar strategy here in Sri Lanka as a tea producing country with a proud history of more than 100 years, how much of tea our people are consuming?
Yeah, we are slightly higher than India, thankfully. We consume 1.2 kilos, which is about 1.3 cups per day.
Per person.
Per person.
Okay.
But if you just imagine, 1 cup a day is something that we can definitely beat, I believe. If
So
you go up to 3 cups, right? So currently our market size is about 26 million kilos. Local consumption. But if you increase that to 3 cups per person per day, we are talking about 66 million kilos, almost double the current volume. So there is potential there as well, where you can give a great push to the local market. Again, they would say locals will drink only not so great teas. That is a myth. I think we need to look at it differently. People who want to experience something different, we talk about Ceylon tea to be one of the greatest origins of production. We are not allowed to import teas to protect the local farmer, which is the policy. So hence, I think it is only fair that we give a good quality offering, make it available. That's the most important thing. People might want to buy it, but they don't know where to buy it. So give that opportunity to the local consumer, and there is a gap. There you go. So that's what we need to think of.
Okay, Mr. Perera, something that you shared previously About it's not about whether it's Ceylon tea or Kenyan tea or Indian tea. As the global tea industry, right? Now, if you look at coffee, right, there's a coffee culture in the world, right? If you go to some of the other countries, even in Sri Lanka, you have this kind of Starbucks concept where uh, there are a lot of outdoor places where people go and hang out, have coffee, right? And you can see a lot of Gen Z also, appearing in these places. They usually go hang out. They, uh, so how do we bring that culture into tea as not as individual countries but as a tea producing nations as a whole? How can we where did we miss it? How can we improve that part of the equation?
Yes, I mean, the very, very relevant question. Thank you for that. So, you spoke about the Gen Zs and the coffee culture. This has come about because people are looking for experiential when they go out. They just don't want to have a coffee, but they want to have a latte. They want to have how it is on how the product is produced. Unfortunately, we have not done that well enough in tea. But if you go to places like France, for example, who consume a lot of specialty teas, you see that in those countries. But when it comes to normal teas, we tend to bag it in a tea bag and sell it in supermarket. So the experience, the fundamental product you don't see. It's behind a tea bag. You never see the tea, whether it's a small leaf, large leaf, how they brew in a mug is not to be seen. So we need to bring that experience into the tea culture. When we promote tea in especially Horekai's hospitality industry is we encourage the hotels to give that experience. Say when you, what does the experience mean? Experience literally means you need to experience it with all your senses. So you need to visually see the tea. You should be able to feel the leaf and smell the tea, black tea or a green tea or any other tea, and also observe how it brews in the pot, and then how it changes, how it changes color. So this is all of this is experience, and then also to experience the aroma. Aroma is a big factor. Coffee has a lot of aroma. When you brew coffee, you tend to have more aroma. Tea do have aroma, but to a less extent. But we need to train people to do that. So that's where the knowledge gap comes into play.
So in
For
terms of kind of value addition, in terms of the way that we market and promote itself as an experience,
I
that's where the knowledge gap is.
That's right. So say many people don't know how to brew a cup of tea to start off with. Especially in the Western world, how they brew is they would dump the tea bag, hot water on top, and then milk on top. And we generally use cold milk, so you don't leave the tea bag to brew enough to experience. We don't give the tea to express themselves. We call it, each tea has a inculcated personality in them. So we don't allow those teas to express themselves by giving it time. It's a meditative process. You need to take the time off to do this. When we teach, we say you don't need to be very rich in money to experience good tea, but you need to be rich in time. Do you have the time to sit down, brew a cup of tea, and experience the aroma, changes of the color of the leaf and the cup color, and to experience it? So you need to have that. Many people don't have that liberty of time, unfortunately.
Everyone is expecting a kind of a quick solution when they want to do something.
Absolutely, absolutely. But having said that, I think the Gen Zs are changing. They want to experience. They want an experience, and I think we have a great product with which we can do that. We have forgotten that, unfortunately. And also, again, talking about Gen Zs, I think they are looking at, okay, what is that I'm going to be putting into my body? They are very conscious. Unlike those days, the information is available at your fingertips, right? And
So they kind of want to see that the supply chain visibility, maybe on a QR code or whatever, where you can scan, they can understand where this tea coming from, what kind of
exactly.
practices this particular country or factory it's using in terms of tea producing. That's the kind of information that Gen Z is looking at.
Absolutely. So that gap we need to bridge. So that's how we can make it more experiential for the Gen Zs. They want to know how it is produced, where it is produced, and the challenges they might have in doing that. So, and we say the consumers are not willing to pay. That is not absolutely right. They are willing to pay, provided that they know, okay, I'm doing this because this was produced with a lot of care. Tea requires a lot of care in when it comes to production. So that comes with us telling the story. So telling a story is very important, and where it comes from, where it is grown, how much of effort has gone into it. So all of that is important, and this is where the Gen Z marketing comes into play. One other thing I would say, Saminda, with tea, this is the only beverage in the world that we find L-theanine. It's an amino acid found in tea, and also we have caffeine. So caffeine and L-theanine combo gives us a very unique advantage. This is the only beverage in the world that can give you alertness, keep you high, meaning your alertness is higher, and also keep you calm. No other beverage can do both at the same time. One will do either give you a kick, other will either
With high
give you
caffeine,
calm,
like in coffee.
like in coffee.
Yeah.
Whereas in tea, you don't get the hypes, you don't get the jitters of excess caffeine. You have a smooth caffeine intake. Your system is alert, and then you are kept at a neutral level. So this is what we don't tell the consumer, and we call it the throat of war. Any person only can have certain amount of liquid through their into their system. So the healthy beverage segment, unfortunately, is eating into that. They are getting popular by the day, uh, but you have to remember, tea started its life as a herb. Tea is the most consumed herb in the world. It has so much of goodness, health giving benefits that we are not talking enough about, unfortunately. So yeah, if we start doing that, if we create the traceability, if we create that authenticity, we will see a great demand coming in for tea.
Okay. So then that I think would answer to the question whether we can, promote tea by, uh, increasing the per capita consumption of each of these tea producing countries to for your own people before you even start thinking about exporting it. Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You share a lot of insights about the tea and how we can promote tea. So my next question is relevant to your own organization. So you have information, you have data related to tea industry from 1933, right? At the moment, you are producing annual statistic bulletin, and prior to that, you're kind of releasing a snapshot of the same thing. So, in terms of digital transformation, right, in terms of going into more uh, b- without just providing the raw information, uh, do you have a plan of, or are you in the process of creating more actionable insights, I would say, which can be helpful for a lot of the governments, the policymakers, the tea producers, different individual tea brands, etc.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's where we are at. So we want to strategically change ourselves as well, as I earlier said, make ourselves more relevant to today's day and age, and to the dynamics that are in any industries, and particularly we are going through that with the tea, I believe. So we want to create a digital platform, create a portal where people can access this data more dynamically, just not the information only what we have. We have loads of data, so they can query into those data and create their own
Analysis.
analysis, trend analysis, and look into the history. We have lots of big plans to do that. And with that, we want to create all of what we mentioned earlier, like the tea tourism. How can each and every country can promote their natural habitats, and through tea we can do that. So there is a big move towards that. We are working towards that, and hopefully very soon that will be a reality.
Okay, so we are coming to the almost to the end of our conversation. Before we moving to the end, or before we finish the discussion, uh, I want you to answer this very kind of personal question. For anyone who wants to join, who are passionate in joining the tea industry. So tea industry is kind of an industry which goes with passion, like you
Yep,
so much personal passion, commitment, because it's what we call like art and science. It's not
that's right.
only a science; it's an art as well. So if anybody, a newcomer, even a school leaver who wants to join the tea industry, so what are the avenues where they can start?
Yeah, thank you for that, Saminda. So I think there is a lot of potential in the tea industry. So new thinking needs to come into the industry. People needs to think differently. So if there is someone who is interested in joining the industry, there are lots of companies who kind of nurture the earlier segments of the industry, early newcomers. Training is provided, on the job training. But with a lot of technological advances, especially the auctions becoming automated, human need is becoming that much less important. But I feel otherwise, it is becoming even more important. We need to get the newcomers to think beyond the box of what we have been given. So innovations, like I'll give you a good example. We would be tasting and brewing tea in one way, 2.5 grams per cup of tea, and we would wait and then put the water and keep it for 5 minutes, and that is kind of the routine for black tea, at least. But why not? There's another way of brewing in the Chinese system. It's called gongfu brewing, which means you put more leaf compared to the water that you put into the cup, and you have multiple brews coming through that, which gives you more chance to experience what the leaf has to offer you. Not only once, but some would go up to about 6, 7, 8 cups from one brew. So that's, it's not an innovation. It's that it has been there. But then, why don't we try that with different teas and see how it comes out? And also education. I cannot stress enough. People need to educate on the job. Product understanding is absolutely necessary, but I think we need to also have the knowledge of how do we bring this to the next level. That comes with education. That is challenging the status quo. That's the name of the game. We have to do that, and only the young generation will be able to do that. They will be
So
uh,
you
th-
mean to say that enough, and now when you talk about the tea industry, most of the people think it's like only tea tasting, but nowadays you have teas. There's a huge logistics and supply chain process behind tea, and so that means you have a lot of operations people, warehousing, the logistician, the supply chain professionals, marketing, and also nowadays the data is becoming very, the big data and AI is becoming very
yeah,
popular. So
yeah.
there'll be opportunity for people who are kind of data scientists, data analysts as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, we shouldn't forget the social media side of it. That is now today's driving force, is that. So new generation is not watching TV to absorb things from advertisements. It's on either TikTok to Instagram to Facebook is becoming old now as well. So the new generation is on different platforms. There are plethora of other platforms as well.
Even some of the young, passionate digital media influencers can join the tea industry and promote this great product to the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. That needs to happen. We need to have those Gen Zs drinking tea, experiencing tea, posting it on social media, and take the message out. I call it the good news of tea needs to go out through multitude of channels, and that's the only way we can do this. And that is a space which the youngsters can fill in. I don't think the older generation has passed that era. Learning is not very easy for them, but if we recruit those youngsters who are very savvy with the technology in particular, that will give the industry a great opportunity to promote this great product.
Yeah. To add something to your statement, uh, most of the people still look at tea industry as very traditional, but you have experience with talking to other people, other countries, looking at what is happening in the other tea producing countries as well, even here now in Sri Lanka. So can you tell me some of the technologically advancements happening right now in the global tea industry?
See, Saminda, I think it is basically there is nothing to reinvent. The industry is, as you said, very traditional, fair enough. But within tradition, we can bring in the new innovations, new thinking. Good example, very good example that we have experienced recently is matcha. Matcha has been in production for thousands of years. It is not a new thing. It's not a new thing that has come into the market. But within the last 10 to 15 years, it has blown out of proportion. Why? Because of social media. And why? Because people have started talking about the wellness and goodness properties in matcha. And other teas are not different. So we are missing that piece. That's the one that we need to be promoting. And also going back to advances, we need to bring science into agriculture. That's very, very important. That's where institutions like TRI come into play.
You can basically work on increasing the yield.
Increase in the yields, robust clonal varietals, and more flavorful ones. There is one clone from Japan called Benufuki, which is grown in one of the plantations in Sri Lanka. So a Japanese clone grown in Sri Lanka, giving amazing flavor. In fact, it's from Great Western, and they produce one of the gold medals about 2 years ago or 3 years ago in London World Tea Competition. So likewise, you need to be thinking differently. You need to be using our resources, extremely fertile soil that we have, to good use is what we need to do. So for that to happen, the science needs to come in. So scientists,
Even things like artificial intelligence, AI application in the tea industry, we see some of the cases even in India they are using for agriculture.
absolutely. So
Agriculture practices,
drones, and so many AI driven applications. And now they are developing grading applications as well for tea. But this is just the start of a new era, in my opinion.
That's where the youngsters and all the disruptors should come on board.
Absolutely. So my message to the tea companies is give that opportunity, because more and more the traditional work is getting mechanized or AI is taking over. That's where the new Gen Zs can come in and disrupt it. We need to disrupt the system. We have to keep the authenticity going, which is very important. So protecting that and bringing in the new technology to promote that, that's where the game changer is going to be.
Okay, one final question. Uh, as a very seasoned professional, you have worked in Sri Lanka, achieved to the top. Now you are working for a kind of a global organization. what kind of advice that you can give to the younger generations who are just about to start their the professional life, maybe just starting the first job, irrespective of whether it's tea industry or any other industry? What's the message?
I think you need to educate yourself. Technology, whether you like it or not, is here and it will be there for I don't know for how long. So you need to adapt and change with that. So education is number one. That goes without saying. And also have a curious mind. Be curious about things. Look at things differently. Any industry, as you said, not only tea, any industry, look at how can we disrupt it. We have done this for 150 years. So what? Change it, experiment with it, and then you will come with innovations that we never thought of. So my advice is, yeah, educate yourself and be curious, innovative, and work hard. You need to have work-life balance, which I think the Gen Zs are very much wanting to have. They don't want to have jobs of 9 to 5 anymore. Not the majority would like to have more independence, working from home. I think creating that environment within any industry will give you more productivity. We will be able to get more out of those people, the younger generation. And that is my message to anyone who wants to get into a
Thank you
job.
very much, Mr. Perera, for your valuable time. I think you shared a lot of insights in terms of data, in terms of your experience, in terms of what is happening in the global tea industry and how it is applicable for Ceylon tea, and also some advices for the future generations. Thank you very much for joining us here today. So we will meet you with another episode introducing another industry leader who can share their stories. Thank you.